All right, guys. This video that you're about to watch is pretty redneck, and it's just kind of a fun little project I did with my dad and my kids. Initially, we have this creek, and I'll try to upload a video that kind of shows what it looks like when there's water. The UTV can get through it, no problem. I say no problem, like it's a little sketchy. It's a pretty big decline and incline when you go down and up. And it even frames out a little bit, and it's just bumpy. If you had to like try to get through with any sort of precious cargo, which I can't think of anything, it's rough. The kids' two-wheel drive four-wheelers definitely cannot get through it, even if it's dry. So when it's muddy or with water, I mean, you can rule out a good 2 or 3 months of riding with that. All right.
Well, Luke's doing his.
Ooh, pretty
Barely.
good. I think you made it.
And Luke, well,
And you're done, so.
Luke's soaked. Well, I was trying to walk on that log and then I jumped, and then I kind of got soaked. Oh my God, I can see the water in the boat. Okay, let's go.
Why don't you take them off and dump them out?
Ew.
So I was on Lowe's.com and specking out lumber, and it gets real expensive real quick. And my dad said, "Hey, we've got this old we've got this old deck, 2x6s by 16s that I ripped off and I just saved. I've been maybe even thinking about bringing them to the junkyard to get rid of them because I have no use for them. They're like holding down tarps on top of wood piles right now." He goes, "Why don't you see how much of that we can save? We'll come over, we'll cut them all up." And that's what we did. And then in the middle, we used this old swing set beam. So some of this lumber is 30 plus years old, but pressure treated and even stained at one point in really good shape. What you're gonna see is some of the pieces might need to be replaced. I went to school for engineering, and I like to over-engineer stuff. I can't help it. I watched a bunch of guys make bridges on YouTube, and they definitely put a lot more thought into squaring, leveling. We really just kind of put this together for giggles, and you can see so far it's worked out pretty well. The one thing I was planning on doing was digging down into the dirt so I could level the bridge. After looking at the roots on the bank, trying to dig into that, just wasn't gonna work. So we made these little ramps you'll see at the end out of 2x10s. It's still pretty steep, but easy enough to get over. I'll probably bring in some crushed stone or some topsoil, I think, just to make that a little smoother. And then I might shore up one of the sides. But just to give you an idea, if you were able to use all this recycled lumber, which is really good for the environment and all that stuff. I'm looking at my receipts right now. So let's see. All right, found my receipts. So 3 boxes of exterior screws, 3x9s, $11 each. So that's $31 plus tax, 5% Lowe's credit card discount. And then I bought 2x6s by 8s, pressure treated. Those were $15 total, so $8 a piece. And then I got a 2x10 by 12, $24, which I cut in half for the ends. So 24 plus 15, 30, 40 bucks plus another 30 bucks, $70 time, beer, and honestly, quality time with the kids and the dad, putting together a little bridge that so far is holding up pretty well. So happy with what we got, and have some laughs because it's maybe a little under engineered, or you might agree with my dad and say that's perfectly fine. He thinks it could hold up a tank. Not gonna trust that, but for four-wheelers and walking bridge, totally awesome. UTV, good enough. And I'll update it at some point if it falls through and we all die. Okay, what are we doing today?
Making a bridge in the woods.
Why are we doing that?
Because of the stupid creek that's so annoying and really hard to get the four-wheelers over.
You gonna help?
Yes.
Yes. All right, so what are we gonna try to do now? Get those big long things in the back of that?
Yeah.
Is that gonna work?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Of course you'd have to open that. Do a lot
We've done this before?
No. No. Well, we carry planks and stuff on that a lot.
We do?
Yeah. That was our last
Framed up.
You just screw that in?
I don't know if I'd say perfect.
But you're not going to see this crooked when you put... You're not going to see this crooked when you put the...
Yeah, it's a little warped from an old... What was it from? An old swing set?
You'll never see it though.
But I'll know.
Yeah.
Deep down inside, I'll know.
Well,
Repurposed lumber, though. It's good for... AOC would be really happy with us for reusing all this.
yeah, using all my leftover lumber that
Yep.
I was going to take to the dump anyhow.
What do we think, halftime?
Never have. The place about like 40.
So that's 330 pounds.
The place about like 40.
We just need
So,
to...
let's say 400 pounds right here. We're all standing here.
Yeah.
Just to be, kind of so much.
And then
Oh,
that's...
wait a minute, it's gonna break!
Yeah, it's not...
Ooh,
Poppy, I know that's you.
I wouldn't jump too hard. Ooh, not with the dog underneath, please.
We'll take the snap this thing.
What?
Freaking tank.
Well, we're...
Flexibility. Actually, you want some flex.
Right, I know. We're a little short on recycled deck, porch, and swing set lumber.
Yep.
We'll have to finish it up.
That's what your mommy always said. He's a little short.
Ooh.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, day 2. All my help.
We did!
What'd you do today?
Poppy with the ramp?
You did?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the finished product. Pretty happy with everything turned out. This is all recycled lumber, so this came off an old porch, all pressure treated, but always under a shelter, a roof. So everything here has kind of been reused. I say kind of been, has been reused. Except for we ran out at the very end, so we went to Lowe's and bought 2x6s by 8 foot. Didn't have 12 footers, so cut the ends off of those, and then there was a gap of about another 2 inches or so. So it's not a perfect 2-inch gap all the way through. And then we bought 12 foot 2x10, kind of made a little bit of a ramp at the end there. So I'm not super happy with the whole ramp thing. Even took the 2 footers, the 2 feet at the end of those 6 footers, kind of stuck them in there, put this at an angle. It'll be enough to get the 4-wheelers and sure the UTV over, no problem. But later on, I'll probably bring some topsoil or something, crushed stone, figure a way to just kind of level this. I'm sure it'll settle a little bit too. Wanted to dig in, but this is all roots here, and this is the one side I'm not particularly in love with. You buy these little plastic footers, which I used to fix a step on my deck last year. Again, I don't know if these ramps are going to make it crumble, fall apart, or what, but kind of temporary. So total cost, free lumber, I think I went through 2, maybe 3. I had half a box of these, plus 2 brand new ones. Yeah, so about 2.5 boxes of 3x9s, 3-inch by 9 exterior screws, and then just even this 2x10 and these 2x6s, I think was something like $40. So if we had to do this all brand new, I guess it maybe look a little nicer, but would have cost a decent amount of money. And so just trying to make it easier to get across this with the 4-wheelers, the UTVs. UTVs never had a problem getting in there, but so now we're gonna try it out. Cross our fingers. I don't have any worries, but again, you never know till you try it.
troll.